Welcome to the Rapscallions podcast with Steven, Nick, Dylan, Dustin, and Brandon.
Welcome into the podcast. That's the Rapscallions podcast, if you're sexy.
Sexy time.
Oh, I think
Me like.
me like it, likey. There can only be one sexy guy on the podcast.
It's me.
Well, see, technically this is the Rapscallions podcast, so by default,
We're all rapscallions.
which, yes,
Bum, bum, bum.
which equals we're all sexy, man. You know?
This
It's in the-
podcast is bringing sexy back.
It's in the eye of the beholder.
In our own ways, yeah.
That's why we don't do cameras. So we can just tell you we're sexy.
Way to point that out.
A face for radio. Okay.
You just put a face to these voices.
But hey, if they take the pleasure in going to our Facebook and seeing our banner on the Facebook, then they'll see
No, don't do that.
our faces.
Just listen to us and you
tell
imagine.
us, are those faces you would sit on?
Yes, that we're putting out a poll.
The world needs to know.
So, I saw this on TikTok, and if it's on TikTok, you know it's true, right?
Amen.
Everything on TikTok is true.
Yeah, because it's part of the internet.
Yeah. But anyways, it was this scientist, and he was basically explaining what it would be like during an implosion, similar to the one that for the Titan, and it's pretty dark, actually. So they imploded on their descent, which means during an implosion, basically, it takes 1 millisecond that whole thing took 1 millisecond, right? Well, it takes 10 milliseconds for your brain to process pain. So that means that they literally were descending down, and then they just weren't here anymore, which is a good thing. For the family, they definitely didn't feel any pain.
So they didn't have time to freak out or anything. It just happened.
Exactly. Their brain didn't even have time to process the fact that something was happening to them. Pain.
So
or
they
anything.
had no idea that something was even about to happen. It just kind of, boom, happened and everyone was dead.
Well, there might have been some warning signs, but when it was descending, it imploded, and during this implosion, it's basically the way this scientist explained it was like it was basically like a pressure cooker. So when the implosion happens, it's basically like first you instantly get cooked to the equivalent to the surface of the sun.
Yo.
And then once that happens, the pressure of the water, because they're pretty deep, will crush it like a can. Almost like if you ever watch those hydraulic press videos that smush Play-Doh. That's kind of how it was, except the Play-Doh was people, and the hydraulic press was the ocean pushing on this thing. And so basically it turned them into cooked jelly, and then squirted out at a very high speed. He didn't say the exact speed, but it's basically a high rate of speed into the ocean, and it's like a circle of life. Basically, they just go into the ocean.
They went down there.
Turn into fish food.
So it's not even fish food. I mean, it's not even big enough. It wouldn't even be big enough pieces. It's like jelly. So when it gets shot out into the water, it just dissipates and goes into the water.
I was told that the guy
ultimate-
who made the submarine actually just made it from like recyclables from like a dump. You know what I mean? Like he was just taking like recycled stuff and putting it on the outside.
It was made of carbon fiber.
And only the thing that actually held them was actually made by like NASA and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was made of carbon fiber. I don't know. To me, I mean, I'm no scientist or anything, but I would, if I was to pick something, I wouldn't pick carbon fiber.
He was also told that
It was supposed to be like, 2.5 times or something like that stronger than steel.
Yeah, but is it, obviously it's not strong enough to withstand the pressure of,
And they had him bolted in
water
there.
one.
From
He
the
was
outside.
warned before, like on many occasions, that it wasn't gonna go well, and he just ignored it. So it's kind of what
Yeah.
happens, you know.
You know, they went down there as
And it's-
billionaires. Now they're billion nowheres.
It's kind of crazy. Like they go to see the Titanic and they almost like they just die in the same place, you know.
Speaking of that, I saw, because you know they're all going over right now. They're all over the internet, TikTok, everywhere. But I saw one that was like, man, do you think that these billionaires, when they paid $250,000 for the Titanic experience, they would get the real, true Titanic experience?
Right.
You know?
I guess that they bought a one-way ticket.
So in a way, they got what they paid for.
Dude, it's so crazy. And then I saw a lot of jokes about like ghosts of the Titanic, you know,
Yeah.
like talking to them, you know, like, hey, we've been here a while. You guys just stop on by, you know. They got a little bar set up back there, you know.
So I guess $250,000 is the one-way ticket price. I wonder what the round trip price would have been.
Yeah.
500,000.
That's fucking good, Dylan. High five, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty. It is pretty messed up though. The fact that a lot of the jokes and the comments on these jokes that I see is all because like basically because they're billionaires, so everybody's like,
Like
fuck
'em.
you.
Yeah.
Which is messed up, really, because
A billionaire or not, that's
Yeah,
still
there's still
somebody's
person.
dad or
yeah.
brother, whoever.
And one of them was it was a dude with his
Son.
19-year-old son.
And his 19-year-old son was terrified and didn't want to go, but
Yeah.
he agreed to do it for Father's Day.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you better be happy that it like was a second death, you know what I mean? Because if you had to sit in there and suffer with your dad and you're like, damn man, like
This is your fault.
yeah, this is your fault. You're just
Fuck
gonna
you, Dad.
you're gonna hate him the whole time. You're just gonna fucking resent your father until you die.
Well, he didn't have a chance.
Well, you know what's even crazier is that there was another father and son duo, because we're gonna go on it, and because his son was like a real fan of like the Titanic, you know, like he wanted to see it. It was like one of his bucket list things. They were gonna do it, but something last minute happened, and they gave up their spot to the people who actually did go down there. Imagine being that person, you know, that's crazy.
I'd go get a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably billionaires too.
Speaking of that, though, have you seen, the Simpsons conspiracies that they predict the future and all that?
Mm-hmm.
There was one where Homer went down in a submarine with his long-lost billionaire father, and he gets stuck at the bottom of the ocean in the submarine.
I've seen those are circulating too of that.
Yeah.
It's the Simpsons.
Simpsons did it again.
It's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Simpsons world, and we're just living in it.
Well, like conspiracies are like that was like a hit. They were trying to say it was like a hit. It was like an explosion or something like that.
What?
Mm.
Well, the Coast Guard knew about it Sunday, and they didn't technically figure it out or announce that it imploded till like Thursday.
Yeah, they knew it happened because they heard it. They heard the...
I just
Explosion or
seen one
implosion.
TikTok that said this. They were like there was a billionaire in there, and pretty much.
But they didn't announce what happened till like 5 days later.
Well, they didn't. They heard it happen, but they said not too long after they descended, but they couldn't. At the time, they couldn't confirm. I mean, they didn't know exactly what it was. They just heard it.
Did you hear these like stupid ass reports saying like they were hearing like knocking, so that it must be a sign of life? And I was like, no, dude, they're already dead.
Did you not just hear that explanation that I gave at the beginning?
You just see that gaming controller made it though. The one that controlled it.
Did it really?
Yeah.
They used an Xbox
It
remote
was-
controller
it
or
was in
PlayStation.
The wreckage that they found.
Huh.
Because they found like the port that they screwed in that locked them in there, and they found, and then you can just see the little controllers.
I mean, once a billionaire starts getting that cocky, he deserves what he gets. You know what I mean?
You see people talking about how they were stuck down there, and they're like, why didn't they just get out and swim to the surface themselves? It's like, for one, they couldn't get out. For two, they're thousands of feet down, they would die instantly if they left there anyway.
Yeah. And it's like, Rick Ross, the rapper, he's like, why didn't they just tether a chain to it and attach it to a boat? It's like, first of all, it's like they're going 2,000 feet down.
Yeah, it's over 2 miles.
The billionaire wasn't like
12,000 feet.
Something like that. And the thing itself weighed, I think, like several tons.
They had somebody, they hired somebody to go in there and like fucking navigate that submarine. They just didn't, the billionaire just didn't do it, right?
The CEO of the company was in there navigating it. The one who built it.
Okay, so yeah.
CEO of
I mean, once you start getting that cocky, man, he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna use a remote control that I used to play on.
He's like, it's pretty simple. Anybody should get in here and be able to do it.
Ended up being wrong. Now, guys, that's a lesson to learn.
And one of the dudes that was in the submarine was on Jeff Bezos' mission to space, where they went to the edge of space. So he had no problem going to space, but going down in the ocean.
Well, one of those dudes already been down to the Titanic. Apparently, he said he's already made the trip before.
All right. I think it's a good time to get into a new segment. Not a new thing. We've done this before on the podcast, but we're gonna turn it into a segment. It's overrated, underrated.
Overrated or underrated?
We're gonna present some topics, people, places, things that, let's see if we find them overrated or underrated. Go ahead, Dustin.
Oh, okay. The first one, overrated or underrated, jet skis.
Overrated? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, is it overrated or underrated?
Okay, wait. Do you mean actual jet skis where you
like
have to stand
skis,
up?
Yes, jet skis.
Okay.
Overrated because it's Sea-Doo's, bitch.
Well, I'm just saying because a lot of people refer to like sit down Sea-Doos like.
No, I meant jet skis.
Okay. Overrated. Who wants to stand up?
It's really hard too. I've never been able to fucking stand up on one of those things. I just have my body in the water.
I rode one. I can do it.
I don't know. I see some people on them out in the middle of the lake. It looks like it could be pretty badass if you know how to do it. Doing the backflips off your own wakes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then you get completely submerged and launch out of the water.
Yeah, that's when you're real. I guess if you're real good, But I don't know. I would say
yeah,
for
every
me,
time I've done
if all
it,
you're gonna do is stand up and ride around on it. Yeah.
Every time I've done it, it hasn't been the best experience. So I'm just not a big fan of them because I'm also like 350 pounds, so I'm not standing up on no fucking jet ski.
That's just on his left side too.
Fucking knees are just gonna implode on themselves.
That's on my light side.
That's the light side.
He's kind of loppy.
All right, for me, I say overrated.
Kind of look like grandma's biscuits.
Like biscuits about to explode.
No, like grandma's biscuits.
Can
How like
of
one
busted
side's
biscuits.
like, grandma's biscuits. How like one biscuit would be big on one side and like kind of go down on the other.
Yeah, loppy.
Loppy,
Yeah.
exactly. I was just
I said.
being more specific, like grandma's biscuits, like.
The ocean?
But then you made me explain myself.
I don't know. I thought you were being quite Atlantic there.
Oh yeah. Okay, Dylan.
I say overrated.
Like I said, for me, it's more. Like
If you're good.
if you're just looking to jet around the lake, then yeah, it's overrated. But if like you're talented with it and that's what you go do for fun,
Why are you talented with it? This is specific to you.
Yeah.
specific to me,
Yes.
I'm kind of in.
What is it? How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's overrated or underrated? Would you go do it, or would you like, nah, I'm not a big fan of it?
I wouldn't do it because
So it's
I'm
underrated
not
too.
good at it.
It's overrated.
I feel like he wants to do it, though. He's like really
I
wants to
do.
do it bad. He ain't trying to make anybody who rides jet skis mad because he might be riding with them in the future,
Well, I want to be able to bench 400 pounds. We all know that ain't far from that.
Sure, you just get on steroids real heavy.
Okay, so the next one is titties. Like big titties, overrated or underrated?
I say neither because everybody loves titties.
Yeah. They're definitely not underrated because they're.
I'm talking
they're
about
very
I'm
recognized.
talking about over like D-sized titties, like big titties.
Overrated.
Underrated.
Overrated.
like D's,
Like
or
double
bigger
D's,
than
double
D's?
D's, like anything over D.
What about D's? What about
D's
D's?
nuts?
They're overrated because there's no fucking use for them.
No, I mean double D's. There are natural double D's out there. They are also very nice. Now, when them women who get like surgically implanted like G's and triple H's and
Yeah,
all that
like
shit.
fake titties. You don't like fake titties,
like the chick
like
on
big
What?
fake titties. I don't like big fake titties
Yeah.
because they just don't look.
I like normal size fake titties.
Yeah.
like the chick on the the interwebs that gets her boob and gets the or squashes the roach with it. What Trailer Trash Tammy? You like Trailer Trash Tammy titties?
I like Tammy. Tammy's pretty cool.
I'd fuck her.
Anyway, yeah. So, what's you guys' opinion? Everybody, just give it a under or over.
I don't think it belongs in the overrated, underrated category.
Well, you can. Some people don't like big titties. Some people are like, that's a little overrated. Like
Like I say, it's
Okay, so
overrated.
specific-
he says
big-
it's overrated.
Okay.
Dylan just said it was overrated.
There's
So
really-
really big, fake ass titties.
Overrated.
Yes, overrated.
Because there's no use for
They
them.
do.
Anything over D's, we're
They do
saying.
not appeal me at all,
Okay, so what you said overrated
Yeah.
too?
or appeal to me.
I don't really give a shit about their titties.
Okay, baseball, guys.
As long as they
Yeah, I'm an ass man anyway.
Yeah, for real. They gotta have that juicy booty.
I don't care. You got A cups
All right.
or double D's.
BBLs, overrated, underrated. We'll just go with that.
Overrated.
Okay, what?
What BBLs?
Yeah,
Brazilian
like,
butt lift.
like Kim Kardashian and
Oh.
all of them.
That's disgusting.
Brazilian butt lift. They don't
I don't
have to
like
look
the
like
way
Kim
that look.
Kardashian. They don't have to look like Kim. That's over. That's
Me and
like that's way overdue.
That's just
like,
unattractive to
I
me.
didn't.
Me and Dylan were like, "What the fuck are BBLs?" Okay.
like they were like.
Wait, this feels like a setup.
Okay.
It's similar to a BBC, except not at all.
Let's just lump this into the fact.
If you got a BBL, you need a BBC.
Okay, I'm gonna say that anything to do with plastic surgery for me is overrated.
A no go.
I'm talking about like
if you're
it-
doing it just strictly to not
like Kim Kardashian went a little overboard. I'm talking about a nice little like you don't notice it, but it's just like it looks good. You know what I mean? And it's still like they're updating them
Well, see, to
nowadays. You
me,
know what I mean?
natural-
They're really soft nowadays.
to
You know,
me
they're not
natural is
hard.
always better.
You know what I don't like is when you got them big old girls, and like everybody's like, damn, she got a fat old ass.
Yeah,
Like,
because
what-
the rest of her is fat too.
Yeah, I was like, well, she's fat,
Yeah.
so like that's not
See, and that's the thing. There's a difference between just because your ass is big doesn't mean you got a nice ass.
exactly.
There was this girl in my school. She had this like I don't know what it was. It was like this disease to where like her hips and her like ass just like fucking grew like way like 10 times more than the rest of her body.
Is that a real disease?
Yes, and all the black guys were like,
I don't know, probably.
all the black guys were just like fucking like all over her, dude. And I was like, oh my gosh, like her ass just like had potholes in it.
Had piles.
That's called cottage cheese.
Like
So
it was,
you like-
we're in the 5th grade, bro, and this bitch had the like Kim Kardashian size ass, and it was just because of this like condition she had, and I was like, you dude, black dudes around the fucking board lining up.
Wait. So this
Fifth grade.
They just,
wait. So this
7th or 8th.
So she does it ever stop growing?
No, it continues to grow, and by the like it was
One
stop,
day she'll burst.
like no, it won't. It ain't gonna get that bad, but like it eventually, I think it will. But
She'll look like Squidward when he ate all them fucking cheeseburgers.
yeah.
It's gonna be like Willy Wonka when when he blows up like a blueberry, except it's gonna be just her ass, pretty much.
Well, no, it was her thighs too. She had fat ass thighs too.
I don't know. I think
so-
bitches.
What about
had
her legs?
Her legs were like once it got to here, like she had like
chicken legs? The
she,
rest
she
of
didn't
it
have
from the
chicken legs
knees
because she had to
down?
hold up the rest of that fucking ass. She had like strong legs, but I could see the muscles in her fucking legs. Like
I don't know. It sounds like she had a thyroid issue.
She got strong legs, a big old fucking ass, and
And
then just
fat
like
ass.
a petite little upper body.
yeah,
A little boy's upper body.
yeah,
Imagine
exactly.
this.
That's exactly it.
Hell no, bro.
Half a body of a 12-year-old boy.
That's fucked up.
Hey, so
Her genes didn't know what they wanted to do.
Yeah, fuck, bro.
all right. So let's just say like I said at the very beginning of this or the beginning of this question, anything to do with plastic surgery, I'm gonna say overrated.
Okay.
So maybe we should switch categories. Do you have something else other than plastic surgery?
Well,
shit?
I just got that because he said it asses, so that was off the top of the dome.
Oh shit!
Wow, fancy.
Yeah.
Okay. Baseball.
Overrated. I don't like baseball.
Overrated. and I
Boring
don't-
as shit.
Mhm. I take well. It's fun to go to a game live, but I would never watch it on TV.
Yeah, it's fun once.
I've watched plenty of baseball games live because that's like just what my friends did. Like we just went to the baseball games and tried to like holler at chicks. So I would say like it's fucking not entertaining at all.
You went to a baseball game to
It's fucking
holler
not
at
entertaining
chicks.
at all.
And the way you got
it's so slow,
why'd
dude.
you get so proper too? I went to a baseball game to holler at chicks.
Yeah, we went to the game just to holler at chicks.
Holler
To
at
yell at
places.
females.
Yeah. So
He's trying to score a home run, huh?
Unsuspecting mothers.
I mean,
Trying to show
I
their
understand.
kids a
I
good
understand.
time.
Like
Here's these punk ass teenagers.
trying to
baby.
holler at the chicks.
I've only
Why
been,
you hollering at me?
Stop hollering at the
quit
chicks.
being
you
so
hoodlums.
loud.
Can you lower your voice, please?
Trying to pitch the dick inside you.
I'm trying to butter your popcorn.
Butter your bread.
Get it, guys?
You know what's bigger than these hot
My
dogs?
cum is the butter and her pussy's the popcorn.
I think
Get
we,
it?
We got it.
Oh, yeah. This again?
Yeah.
It didn't land last time, so I just decided to try it over again.
All right. And a big surprise, it didn't land again. All right. I think we.
No. So yeah, I mean, I would like to go to like a professional game because I only went to like high school baseball games. So like to go to a real professional baseball game and like just have a hot dog and drink a beer. I think I would like that experience.
You know what's? I've been to see the Dodgers twice. I've been.
You seen the?
You want to
Dodgers.
put a
It's fun?
glizzy in your mouth.
Yeah. I've seen, and then I've
So
seen.
you've had the experience I'm talking about.
Yeah. Mm,
Is
And
it
I-
enjoyable?
yes.
It
And-
wasn't for me.
And I've seen.
Oh, you've been to.
Dustin just wants to watch men run around in tight pants and put a glizzy in his mouth.
Glizzy Gobbler. That was his nickname in college.
Oh, glizzy gobbler.
Yeah. It's kind of like that's just what I just explained. So yeah.
Hey, okay, so overrated. What do you guys think for baseball?
Overrated.
I think overrated.
Okay.
It is overrated, in my opinion. I haven't been to a professional game, so I'm not gonna give the stamp of overrated
Yeah.
yet. But I'm
You
just
gotta
gonna say
experience that. Yeah.
Well, I'll
my
tell you
assumption
this,
is
heads
it's
up,
overrated.
that sounds cool. A beer and a hot dog at a professional
It's like
baseball game.
Fucking $50.
It's $20 for a shitty little hot dog and a small ass beer.
Okay. Yeah, I would much rather go.
I
to
mean, I still did it.
I'd much rather go to an
Just to
NFL
say.
game,
But that's any
watch some football.
event that you go to, though.
Yeah, everything's gonna be way
Yeah.
overpriced.
Yeah. No, but I like football way more than I like baseball, so I'd be more willing to spend the money on like a $20 hot dog and like some beer at a NFL game. You know.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Football is my favorite sport, and I've been to an MLB game. I've been to an NBA game. I haven't been to a hockey game or a football game, a professional football game.
NHL.
I'd like to go to a hockey game.
I'd like to go to NHL.
They don't fight like they used to.
They still fight.
Yeah.
I want to go to like the NHL. I don't want to go see no fucking little like rinky dink
First of all,
hockey game. You know what I mean? I want to go see
I
some
don't know.
like
I feel like
professionals.
those might be more entertaining because they don't have as many.
Regulations.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I'm sure the regulations are the same, but I feel like they'd probably get away with more.
Yeah.
all right. So you got any more for this segment?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
Wait a minute. No. Good. Good hairline.
All right. So
Talking to me?
Talking to all you motherfuckers.
hey,
You know what you and a fucking outhouse got in common? You guys both let dudes pee inside you.
Damn.
Damn, that was
hey. First of all, I'll have you know that
That was
mine
hurtful.
Mine is fine for now. At least up here.
Mine's okay. It ain't bad, dude.
It's starting, bro. It's running away.
It's running away. It's scared.
Scared of your eyebrows.
Brandon, don't be talking. You got a fucking 5 head over there.
Hey,
Only on the sides. His forehead in the center.
it's 4.5 head.
Yeah, joke's on you motherfuckers, though.
Hey, you
My hairline's been fucked up for 10 years. That ain't shit y'all can say to me.
I've
Yours
done
is
hurt.
fresh.
I've done hurt it all.
Yours is fresh. I'm out here trying to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, just like yesterday when you're like, hey, I'm pouring, or this is Dylan or somebody. I was trying to cool off. No, it was Brandon trying to cool off your. We were in the lake and he's like, oh, he poured water on my head. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to cool off your bald spot, man. It seemed kind of hot.
I was just looking out for you, brother.
Oh, thank you. Hey, didn't you have something that you wanted to bring up to the rest of the class?
I didn't do it.
Are you?
It wasn't me.
You don't want to share anything with the?
If he says he didn't do it, I believe him.
Okay, guys. If someone tries hard to convince you that what you're looking at is not an STD, it's most likely an STD.
I cut myself shaving, Brandon. I already told you.
Are you trying to tell us something? What do you got?
That shit on your lip, Dustin.
What don't I have? I'm telling you, at this point, the only thing I can catch is a cure.
Got him.
All right, now that that's out of the way, got that off my chest.
Bro, can you go away? I want to sit next to you. Oh, God.
No, I just wanted to touch on this. Well, that was probably the wrong phrase after what I just said.
Just wanted to touch on this.
What's it about?
Hey, you know what's funny? Diabetes has Dustin.
Just random insults. I love it. Random roast. That's the new thing.
Random roast. I love it.
Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to touch on the story. It's kind of old, so I'm just going to bring it up a little bit. But about that doctor, Missouri doctor who was found dead in Beaver Lake here in Arkansas. What was interesting about it is that he was a co-founder of a cryptocurrency. And the reason that's interesting is because of I forget his name, the Cash App guy, and other cryptocurrency
5 other guys.
personalities have also been found dead or kind of
One died in
mysterious.
one died in an airplane crash. One died like at sea after like saying like he was just at the beach and basically he was like before he went in it like hours before he died they were like saying he was saying like people are out to get me, people are trying to kill me and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like deaths happening right now as far as like in the crypto world. I would say like 7 dead as of now I know of.
Motherfuckers die every day, B.
So I mean it's crazy in itself the fact that this Missouri doctor was found dead. You good over there?
Yeah, sorry.
His phone's playing ads.
But anyway, like I was saying, it's weird that this situation happened in the first place, but the fact that he's tied to the crypto community
Well, let me bring
amongst
up some
these
of the
other
names.
crypto
Government's trying to take
people.
them out and to, for their Fed Now service.
Fed now. Yeah.
Was that it, though?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to dive too much into it because at this point it's old news.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, like I said,
It's weird.
touch
That's
on it.
You
but-
can touch me.
But you know what? That's a perfect segue to Dylan's Rando. Dylan's Rando. Bring on those facts.
So, for all the people that think, oh, the government, they're just here to protect us and protect our rights. Well, October 11th, 1950, a strong mist pulled into San Francisco Harbor. And by that afternoon, 11 patients were admitted to the Stanford Hospital with pneumonia and serious urinary tract infections. And some of them died. Tests revealed the culprit to be Serratia marcescens. Okay, it's a bacterial name, so I
fucking butchered that.
I did butcher it. Okay,
I'd like to see you do better.
Yeah, Serratia marcescens. Okay, a bacterium so uncommon that not a single case of an infection have been recorded in the entire history of San Francisco. Well, as it turns out, there was a Navy ship offshore, part of a secret government mission codenamed Sea Spray, that released this bacterium into the harbor so they can test how quickly it would take effect and test their response to a biological warfare.
Really?
Yep. So they tested on without
unwilling
U.S. citizens.
That's not the first
Definitely
or only
not.
case.
No.
And definitely won't be the last.
There's a bunch others. The what is it? The
Tuskegee
experiments. I mean, the list goes on. Man.
What's
Tuskegee?
Yeah.
They took it was, I don't know, I'm just going to say 1,000 black men. The government injected them with syphilis and then told them they were giving them the cure, but really it was just placebos. They just wanted to watch the effect.
They literally were just
syphilis.
they were just testing on to see how it would affect a human being.
Just to watch the different fucking levels that it would get to before they ultimately died.
Yeah.
Damn, that's dark.
And they told him it was something that would cure him.
Yeah.
And exactly like I said, they told them they were doing an experimental cure.
And at that point, the placebo effect,
but they went
kind of
they specifically targeted,
kicks in. You know what I mean? You kind of think you're being helped at that point. Like, how do they not know that you're just dying and it's not helping them?
Well, it took a while.
It's an experimental cure, they said. So all they knew is they had to come get these injections.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
And they specifically targeted a poor minority.
I got what you're saying.
Alabama.
They weren't just like picking these people up and then like giving them it. These people already had syphilis, right?
No,
they had something else, and they were
they
like,
gave
saying,
them,
"Hey, we're gonna cure you with this," but they actually were injecting them with syphilis.
They gave them incentives. You know, they had food. They gave them something to eat and everything. You know,
Got you. All right.
To come take part in these experiments, but really
they're just killing them. Yeah. I get what you're saying now. Yeah,
injecting syphilis and just watching the full cycle.
I didn't know if they were. Yeah, I didn't know if I thought it was kind of like they already had syphilis and they were just watching the stages and saying that they're helping them. You know what I mean?
They had to pay money out, and they said, "We're sorry."
That's fucking worse.
It isn't just.
That's worse than what I thought. Like, you're injecting them with the thing that's going to kill them.
Those are just examples of America. You go back in history. There's since the beginning of time, man.
Like the smallpox blankets we gave the Indians, and they used to actually catapult dead. Like, because back then they had their cities like completely walled in. Well, they would catapult dead bodies and dead rats in there to try to infect them out.
Yeah. So biological warfare is not a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
But it wasn't until the late 19th century you had scientists like Robert Koch and Louis Pasteur discovered that microorganisms cause disease. And they...
Louis Pasteur, the guy who... Pasteurization. Yeah, pasteurized milk.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they discovered that the microorganisms are what cause disease, and they learned how to cultivate them and develop the dedicated bacteria to create biological weapons.
My mind's blown. Fucking.
All right, you
should do that drop.
What's the second fact?
The second fact.
Yeah.
Did you only bring one fact this week?
Okay, there's a dude who hiccuped for 68 years straight.
Seems so exhausting.
Somebody should have scared him.
Did he ever try holding his breath?
Yeah. Or taking a drink?
Yeah, drink some water.
Well, he was like in his mid-20s when he was weighing a hog for slaughter, and he picked it up and then it fell down and he felt nothing, but then he just started hiccuping. Well, a doctor later found out that he busted a blood vessel in his brain that triggered. So he would literally hiccup 40 times a minute until.
That sounds fucking horrible, man.
Yeah, that's a punishment worse than death right there.
Well, he went to a doctor, Dr. Terrence Anthony, who treated him and was able to get it down to 20 hiccups a minute. But he hiccuped 40 sometimes, for the first little bit, 40 times a minute to 20 times a minute until they finally cured him after 68 years, and a year later he died. So he lived 29 years hiccup free, 68 years hiccuping.
That has to do something to your core, bro. He probably had fucking like a 6-pack.
I had a fucking 8-pack. He had to have been a real monster in his past life.
And he lived
Get
to
punished for a
fucking
lifetime of hiccups.
the fact he kept his sanity is pretty crazy. Because he lived a normal life, was married twice, had children.
Yeah, they got tired of all the fucking hiccuping.
No, his first marriage, he didn't have the hiccups.
Oh, the hiccups is what drove her off. Second wife went into it with the hiccups, so.
Yeah. He fathered 8 children.
Damn, he's a fucking trooper.
And later on in the hiccuping
Sex
life,
must have been fucking weird, bro.
He wasn't able
just
to
hiccuping the whole time during sex.
Because of his hiccuping, he wasn't able to
It's gonna be a
eat
crazy
regular food.
experiment.
So he had to grind it up on a blender and drink it because the solid food from the hiccups, it wouldn't allow it to reach his stomach.
Wow.
Even worse, you can't even eat real food.
Yeah.
But that
Damn.
one must have been a crazy experience, not experiment.
Yeah.
Hiccuping at the same time that you're coming. Your body don't know what to do.
His name
Have a fucking stroke.
His name was Charles Osborne.
Eventually, they link.
Charles Osborne.
You know, his hiccups with like.
And he lived from
when he busts.
1894 until 1991.
Damn. And he lived in like the fucking hardest period of time. He
He almost lived 100 years with the fucking hiccups.
through the Great Depression and shit.
Yep.
All right. Well, that sounds like a good place to leave off.
If you guys like this episode, like and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you're notified every time we release a new episode. If you're following us on Instagram, give us a like. If you're on Facebook, that too.
We got new reels for you, so check those out.
Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok.
Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. Go help us out. Show some love. Support the podcast. Patreon's only $2. What's up, Dylan?
We can't forget OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, yeah. Go watch my OnlyFans.
Bourbon Brando, Sleazy Steven, and Dirty Dustin.
Go watch Dylan get his butt peed in.
And Dandy Dylan.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
All right. Peace.
All right, guys. Until next time.
Don't be a
Peace
hoe
out.
and leave 5 stars.
Thank you for listening to the Rapscallions podcast.